It's 6:42 a.m., your alarm goes off. You don't wake up inspired. You wake up alert, not because you're excited, but because you're afraid. Afraid of being late, afraid of falling behind, afraid of not earning enough, afraid of becoming irrelevant. You get dressed, you check your phone, you open your laptop, you answer emails that will be replaced by new ones tomorrow. And somewhere in a quiet, inconvenient corner of your mind, a question appears: what am I actually doing this for? You push it away, because bills are real, rent is real, competition is real. But the question doesn't disappear, it waits. From childhood, the script was simple: study hard, get good grades, enter a good university, get a stable job, climb the ladder, buy a house, retire safely. This is an economic roadmap, not a meaning roadmap. We were taught how to survive. We were not taught how to define purpose. So when someone pauses and asks, "Is this all there is?" they're told, "You're ungrateful. You're overthinking. Be realistic." But maybe they're not ungrateful. Maybe they're awake. Compared to previous generations, we live more comfortably. Food is accessible. Technology is powerful. Medical care is advanced. Information is instant. We're safer than ever. So why are we more anxious? Because most modern work doesn't feel tangible. A century ago, work was physical. You built something. You grew something. You fixed something. You could see the result. Now, you update slides. You join meetings. You optimize metrics. You respond to messages. Tomorrow, you repeat. The output is abstract. The impact is distant. The connection is thin. And human psychology wasn't designed for endless digital abstraction. We crave visible contribution. We crave significance. When we don't feel it, emptiness grows. Many people believe, when I earn more, I'll feel better. So you work harder. You get promoted. You increase your income. Your lifestyle improves. Better apartment, better car, better vacations, better devices. But one evening, after the excitement fades, the same question returns: why do I still feel empty? Because money solves comfort. It does not solve identity. You can afford more things, yet feel less certain about who you are. You can appear successful online, yet feel invisible inside. And that disconnect creates quiet despair. Ask someone, "Who are you?" Most people answer with their profession. "I'm a consultant. I'm an engineer. I'm a marketer. I'm a founder." Not, "I'm curious. I'm creative. I value impact. I care about freedom." When your identity fuses with your job, you become fragile. If performance drops, your self-worth drops. If you're laid off, your identity shakes. If someone else outperforms you, you question your value. That's dangerous, because jobs are temporary, titles are replaceable, but your identity shouldn't be. Look at the modern world: KPIs, quarterly targets, performance reviews, growth charts, optimization, efficiency. We worship productivity. Rest feels guilty. Slowness feels weak. Doing nothing feels like failure. You're valuable if you produce. You're respected if you perform. But humans are not machines. When your worth becomes conditional on output, you live under constant pressure. You're only as good as your last quarter, and that is exhausting. This is not a local issue. It's global. In New York, in London, in Tokyo, in Berlin, in Singapore, the same themes appear: burnout, quiet quitting, career hopping, silent depression, existential anxiety. People don't necessarily want to stop working. They want to stop feeling meaningless. There's a difference. We chase stability, stable income, stable position, stable future. Stability is important. Let's be honest, money matters. But if stability becomes the only goal, you risk building a very safe prison. Many people spend 10 to 20 years climbing toward freedom. Then they reach it and realize they don't know who they are without the climb. Because they never asked, "Where am I going?" They only asked, "How do I survive?" Then the internet says, "Follow your passion." It sounds beautiful, but it's incomplete. Not everyone can monetize passion immediately. Not every passion pays bills. Not every job must be magical. The real problem isn't lack of passion. It's believing your entire meaning must come from your job. That's too much pressure. Work can be a tool. It doesn't have to be your soul. Psychologically, meaning often emerges from contribution, growth, connection. If your work provides none of these, emptiness grows. If you don't feel you're contributing, you feel invisible. If you're not growing, you feel stuck. If you're not connected, you feel alone. No bonus can compensate for that. Be honest. Maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're not ungrateful. Maybe you're not weak. Maybe you're understimulated. Maybe you're disconnected. Maybe you're misaligned. When effort doesn't connect to purpose, motivation collapses. It's not about discipline. It's about direction. Instead of asking, what am I working for? Ask, who am I becoming? Because work shapes identity. If you spend 10 years optimizing profit, you become someone who thinks in numbers. If you spend 10 years building impact, you become someone who thinks in influence. If you spend 10 years surviving, you become someone who thinks in fear. The deeper issue isn't income, it's trajectory. Automation is rising, AI is advancing, industries are shifting, careers will change faster than ever. If your identity is tied to a job title, the future will feel terrifying. If your identity is tied to adaptability, curiosity, and values, you'll survive shifts. The world is accelerating. Meaning must be internal, not external. Here's the dangerous assumption: if I feel empty, I must quit. Not always. Sometimes the solution is not resignation, it's redesign. Can you build skills outside your job? Start a side project? Volunteer? Create something that's yours? Develop relationships that matter? Meaning often returns when movement returns. Stagnation kills more souls than stress. No system is coming to give your life meaning. No boss, no company, no government. Institutions offer structure. They don't offer purpose. Purpose is self-constructed. And yes, that's uncomfortable, but it's also empowering. We live in a world of quick fixes, 5-minute hacks, 10-step frameworks, instant clarity. This question is different. What am I working for? It requires silence, reflection, honesty, possibly uncomfortable decisions. But the alternative is worse: spending 30 years too busy to think. Imagine this: 10 years pass, you wake up older, financially stable, socially respectable, but inside, something feels unfinished. Not failure, just absence. You were busy, but not intentional. Active, but not aligned. And the scariest realization? You never paused long enough to ask why. What if work is not your identity but your instrument? An instrument to fund freedom, support family, buy time, build optionality, finance impact, create leverage. Then work becomes strategic, not existential. You don't need your job to fulfill your soul. You need it to serve your direction. The meaning crisis is not a weakness, it's awareness. It's what happens when survival is no longer the only priority and your mind asks for more. You don't need to reject ambition. You don't need to reject money, but you do need clarity, because one day you'll look back at your life and you won't ask, how many emails did I send? You'll ask, did I live deliberately? Work matters, but meaning matters more. And if you're brave enough to ask, what am I working for? You're already ahead of most people.